Welcome to Soul Spark. These episodes are brain snacks, brief bite-sized reflections from my personal journey, designed to be digested in just a few minutes. I'm not here to tell you how to live or what to do. I'm just here to share my stories and the questions I've wrestled with along the way. My hope is that by sharing what's moved me, I might just spark something in your soul today. Let's dive in. Episode 6, The Art of Boredom. Do you remember the sound of a ticking clock in a completely silent house? Really remember it? Think back to that specific heavy stillness of a Wednesday afternoon in the middle of the summer, back when you were like maybe 8 or 9 years old. All your friends were away on holiday, the television had nothing but reruns. There were no smartphones, no infinite scrolls, no podcasts in your ears, just you, the heat of the sun on the carpet, and that relentless tick, tick, tick. Back then, we called it boredom. We absolutely hated it. We fought against it like it was a prison sentence. We would moan to our parents, "I'm bored," as if we were suffering from a terrible illness. But in mid-August 2023, I was sitting in my garden and I realized that we've made a terrible mistake in our adult lives. We didn't just escape boredom, we completely murdered it. And in doing so, we might have accidentally killed the very thing that makes us human, peaceful and creative. I was sitting outside that day, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't reach for my phone. I didn't open a book. I didn't try to optimize my time. I just sat there, and at first, it was incredibly uncomfortable. My brain started screaming at me. Do something. Check your messages. Listen to a podcast. Plan next month's goals. It was as if my ego was completely terrified of the silence. But as I sat there and breathed through the discomfort, I started to think about those childhood summers. I realized that it was in those moments of peak boredom, when I was so desperate for entertainment, that I would start staring at an ant on a windowsill, that the real magic actually happened. In the vacuum of boredom, my imagination would suddenly spark into life. I would start building a whole universe out of Lego, or just start noticing the way the light shifted through the trees. In our modern world, we are absolutely terrified of the stillness. We treat a spare 5 minutes like a dangerous gap that needs to be plugged immediately with content. We are constantly clicking, scrolling, and consuming other people's thoughts, so never give our own internal fire enough oxygen to actually catch. We have become addicted to the noise of being productive. We feel a heavy guilt if we aren't actively doing something. But that summer, after months of intense personal growth and change, my body and soul demanded anchoring. They demanded rest. What I realized is that boredom isn't a lack of something. It is the presence of potential. It is the fertile soil where the seeds of your next big insights are waiting to sprout. But those seeds need darkness and quiet. If you are constantly shining the bright artificial light of a smartphone screen on them, they never stand a chance. Sometimes doing absolutely nothing is the most productive, healing thing you can do for your spirit. When you finally embrace the quiet, you stop being a consumer and you start being a creator again. You stop looking for answers in a feed and you start finding them in the silence. So, my challenge for you today isn't to go out and achieve something. It's the exact opposite. What if you gave yourself 10 minutes of pure, unadulterated boredom today? No music, no phone, no to-do list. What if the quiet void you have been avoiding is actually the birthplace of the very spark you have been searching for? What if your best ideas are just waiting for you to get quiet enough to hear them? Did I spark your soul today? Thank you for sharing this space with me today. As you step back into your world, remember, you don't need to have all the answers right now. Sometimes just noticing the question is enough. May this brain snack offer a moment of stillness in the noise. And remember, embrace the spark.